All right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 45. It says, "Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he had purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them." First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekakwadash, giving double honor to the apostles and elders, the great millstone. Shalom to the hopefully elect. Shalom to all the brothers out here laboring in this truth with sincerity. Coming back with a quick lesson, trying to make it quick because I'm driving. Really shouldn't be reading like this, but brother put this in the chat. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu says ceasefire with Iran will not include Hezbollah. So right now, they're bombing, Lebanon, sleep, so man, that ceasefire didn't even last one day. As we just read, the least of the flock shall draw them out. And the least of the flock is Amalek, the small hats, man. Babylon the Great is so simple that they're mixed in, trying to be a part of what's going on, trying to be tied to these small hats, and which is going to lead to their destruction, man. That's how about Shimmy Shah had them in a trick bag. But this just goes to show you how wicked these devils are. They cannot be trusted, man, on any level. Like the elder said, earlier in the video I watched, the elder out in Vegas, he said, this ceasefire is really just like a little smoke break for this devil, man. Hey, he's just taking a break. He's gonna be back, and as we see, he just went for a little break and came back bombing. America is not involved, but soon to be. Whatever Netanyahu tells Trump to do, he gonna do it, man. That's just how it is. So, with that being said, let me see. We'll just get let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12. Because hey, man, this is devil, man. That's this devil all day. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12. And we'll go to verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like iron rusted, so is his wickedness." So this devil is going to be wicked, man. If iron rusts, which it does, and it always will, this devil is going to always be wicked. No matter what. So he can't be trusted. It says, though he humble himself, let's have a ceasefire. We'll have a ceasefire and work things out. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. So, this devil can't get rid of his wickedness, man. Though he might talk out of the side of his mouth, all sweet and innocent, just like a devil did me earlier, gave me that little smirk and the hand wave, but deep down, he probably calling me a nigga. We know how these devils get out, man. Maybe 50 years ago, even 40 years ago, maybe people, would have fell for this stuff, man. But, these people are being uncovered, first and foremost through the prophets, man. The men sighing and crying to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and bringing forth this truth, exposing this devil, man, for who he is, and this word is taking effect, having a positive effect on the earth. Negative to a lot of people, but positive to us, man. We love to see it. Prophecy taken forth, really motivates us, man. That's a faith booster to us. So verse 12 says, set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked wherewith. And it keeps going, man. Because this devil wants everything, man. He wants to take over the world. That's the main goal. And we know the main goal of the wicked elites is to chip everybody, man. This right here is just leading up to that, which is going to ultimately lead to World War III, which is going to ultimately lead to the destruction of America. Hey, man, that's just the times we're in, So, you unbelievers out there, man, you better get with it. You people out there on the fence, you better get with this truth, man, because, time is short. Time is running out. You have a window of repentance right now, but, slowly that window is closing, man. And hey, one day, it's just going to slam. It's just going to slam in your face, man, and it's going to be over with. So, I'm going to get off this phone, man. This Atlanta traffic is crazy. So, with that being said, we want to constantly give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Shalom.